Hello everyone, welcome to the Latin Fusion Kitchen. I am your host Joanna, bringing you another fabulous recipe. But before we get started today, please do me a favor. If you're on TikTok, please click the follow button, like this video, leave a comment. If you are on YouTube, down below, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and without further ado, let's get started. So today we're going to be making a fabulous bread recipe. This bread comes out of the oven already filled with cheese and ham. So let's get started. I have a bowl here where I'm going to be adding my ingredients. First thing going in the bowl is dry yeast. I am using 2 packs of dried yeast. It's about half an ounce. To this yeast, I am going to add powdered milk. I will link the powdered milk that I'm using on my Amazon storefront. I have half a cup of powdered milk here. And the next ingredient that I'm adding is just regular milk. I have half a cup of milk here, but I'm not going to add all of it to my mixture yet. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of the milk. All right, I had to change camera angles just so you guys can see better. So here I have in my bowl, I have the yeast, the milk, and the powdered milk. I am going to combine this together until my yeast is nice and dissolved. I'm gonna add the milk little by little. And I just want everything to be well combined and all the ingredients to be dissolved for now. Alright, so I have mixed everything together. As you guys can see, it is dissolved on my milk. I ended up using all of my milk for now. And now the next ingredient that we're going to be adding is 1 egg. We are going to mix this egg. Now I'm going to get a sifter and I'm going to sift half a cup of sugar. Now I am adding 1 teaspoon of salt. The next ingredient is going to be all-purpose flour. I have 2.5 cups of flour here that I am going to be sifting as well, and I am going to be adding this flour little by little. Alright, so I can no longer mix my dough using my spatula. Now it's time for us to get our hands on the dough. I have already applied a little bit of flour to my counter, and now I am going to be mixing the dough in my counter. And you do want to make sure that your counter is clean before you do this. You do not want to contaminate your food. So I am just mixing my dough here using my hands before I get ready to transfer this to the counter. Alright, so I'm just going to knead this dough for a little bit. Kneading the dough is pretty much going to help in the process for your bread to be soft. And you do want to do this for about a minute or so to make sure that everything is combined and your dough is soft. I did add a little bit more flour off camera just because my dough was too sticky. So whenever you're preparing this at home, you can just add more flour if you notice that your dough is still a little bit sticky. So I'm just going to continue doing this for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to be putting my dough back on the container, and I am going to let it rest for about 45 minutes so we can rise, and then it will be nice and fluffy, and we're going to start filling it with our fillings. And by the way, in Brazil, this recipe is called Joelho, which stands for knees in English. And the reason why we call the joelho or knees is because whenever you're done making it, it looks just like knees. Alright, so here I have my dough. I am going to place this baby back on my bowl, cover it with some napkins, and I'm gonna let this baby rest for 45 minutes, and then we'll be right back. Alright, so my dough has been resting and it risen a little bit. Now we're gonna start opening this dough and filling it. So here I have it. I'm gonna knead it a little bit more before I start opening it up. Alright, so my dough is nice and opened up, as you guys can see. And opening this dough was no joke, you guys. I think that I am already done with my arm workout for the week. Now I am gonna grab some melted butter. I mixed this melted butter with Parmesan cheese, and I am going to brush this on my dough. Now I have a blend of cheese here. I am using Oaxaca cheese and asadero. You can use whatever cheese you want. Mozzarella would work just fine. I'm gonna add a nice layer of cheese. Next thing that I'm gonna add is ham. I have a little thing here with all of my ingredients all cut up. So I'm gonna add ham now. I'm gonna do actually a little bit of more cheese on top of this ham. Now I'm gonna add another layer of ham. And you can use any ingredients that you might want for the filling. Just get creative. This is what the traditional is, but you can use anything pretty much. Now I'm gonna add sliced up tomatoes. I'm gonna brush a little bit more of my butter and Parmesan cheese on top of my tomatoes. And now I am gonna sprinkle some oregano. And now we are gonna start folding this up. If some of the ingredients fall out of it, just tuck it back in there. All right, now that this is nice and rolled up, I'm gonna get a bread loaf container. I already greased and floured this. I'm gonna be placing my bread right in there, like so. And I am gonna brush it off again with the butter and Parmesan cheese mixing. And then I'm gonna take this baby to the oven for 30 minutes. 30 to 40 minutes, it depends on your oven. I am doing it on 365. And then we'll be back to look at the final product, which of course is my favorite part. I'll see you guys soon. All right, guys, so here we have our beautiful Joelho already done. It took about 50 minutes for this baby to be ready. I'm gonna go ahead and start slicing it up. All right, now that our Joelho is nice and sliced up, we're going to try it. Look at that cheese pool. Oh my God. Look at that, you guys. Beautiful. I'm gonna give a bite on this side. It's hot though. I might burn myself. Look at all that cheese. Thank you so much for doing this with me and watching into the end. Please try this recipe at home. I'm pretty sure you'll love it. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.